And we are live tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is February 17th, 2026. Your Geaux Team. I am Daniel, the moderator extraordinaire. Although we have no Zombie Bob tonight, so I won't have to moderate as much as I normally do since Zombie Bob is recovering. But tonight we still have down the river, Mr. Excitement himself. Chip, how are you doing tonight?
Great. Had a great weekend.
What was the other nickname you had me come up with? I forgot. I was thinking about it today. We talked about a new nickname for you in the intro.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember what it was. We talked about it over the weekend, but so much has happened. So much is going on. I don't remember what the other nickname was. And I didn't write it down. And I think I said, I better text you so I remember this.
I couldn't even. There's no way I'll remember. I say same stuff.
And then also tonight with us, since Zombie Bob's not with us tonight, David is here with us representing the North Shore tonight, the golden boy of the podcast. David, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Baseball got off to a great start. It's Mardi Gras weekend. Had a good day today. Everything's good.
Everything's good. It's everywhere else in the world. It is just Tuesday, and we are spoiled rotten.
Yes,
we are. G Moose, I see you in the chat. AP, I see you in the chat. Paul, I just want to shout out Paul in the chat tonight. Chip's favorite listener of the podcast is our friend Paul.
Well, don't tell him why.
He knows why. I sent him a message. We can't say publicly because for those of you, we've only got a handful right now. So I'll say it at the beginning of the show. So that way I don't tell too many people this. I have to be careful with what I say about certain people at 104.5 because I live in Baton Rouge, and Baton Rouge is you run in small circles. So I have to be careful with what I say, because my children's education depends upon it. Right, Chip?
Sure. Yep. You're right. I get that. You have something to lose. I also don't like, it is what it is. I get it. They have to follow a certain guideline. So like every other media nowadays, I guess. Maybe it was never real.
Maybe the media was never real, and
maybe it was never. Probably looks like that, possibly.
Although, David, you're related to some media members, right?
Trying to think. No.
Is it or wait? Somebody in Lafayette, right?
No. I don't know if what I've talked about on Twitter. You may have seen Sean Kelly, the voice of Florida Gators, is like pretty much family. But I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, maybe I'm just misremembering. So maybe it's on me.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, good.
It's
not the guy that in Lafayette.
He's a voice though, David.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
We really hoped that he was going to get LSU's job after Hawthorne, and it looked like he was going to. I think it was between him and Blair, and they went with Blair.
Ooh, did you see the clip, David, or did you watch live when we talked about Chris Blair versus Jim Hawthorne last week when we had Mike and Grant on from Pot of Gold?
I think a little bit. Is that when y'all were talking about how somebody wasn't a fan of Hawthorne at the end? I think, Chip, was that you saying that by the end of it, it was a struggle?
No, Daniel said that. I'm a big fan of Hawthorne. I'm not saying he was like, I do like Chris Blair. He's just really buttoned up, and I think like Louisiana, he's great. I grew up with Hawthorne, so it's nostalgic, and he's got iconic voice, and I like those guys better than I like the MLB Network guys,
Yeah, that was what I like. We give Chris Blair a lot of shit because he's so good.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just that he's like robotic, and he's like, it's like you're listening to MLB Network and you're listening to when I used to play fantasy baseball, I had the MLB.TV app, and you could just drop into any game, and it was just the random play-by-play caller for those those channels for those teams, and it was always just some robotic guy from Seattle, some robotic guy from Toronto, and they were basically all in the same, except outside of a handful of them. But I felt like that's what I still feel like that is what Chris Blair is just your run of the mill MLB play by play guy, which is kind of a compliment, but I see where Mike was coming from, that they're not Jim Hawthorne. There's no flavor to it. And as G Moose says, Lynn Rollins and Big Ben are the best. Like, how much better would it have been if it would have been Lynn Rollins?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I thought that was who it was going to be. I thought maybe Ron Franklin would put his name in the hat. God rest his soul. He passed away in 2022, I believe, or 2023. But I was kind of but he was old, and I get why they wouldn't even probably at the time
consider.
But, yeah. He was. I mean, he's a big LSU guy, and he was iconic.
So, David, where are you on the Hawthorne Blair argument?
So I did love Hawthorne. I mean, it's nostalgic, it's like all the best memories that you have, those guys, Jim Henderson with the Saints. But I will say, like, at first, and maybe it was a little bit like of a personal issue because I was upset that Sean didn't get the job. I wasn't a big fan of Blair, but I feel like he's gotten a lot better and kind of, I don't know, he feels more LSU now. Like compared to his first few years, I think that's how I kind of felt about him. Like he was buttoned up and, almost kind of corporate, I guess, if that makes sense. But I feel like he's come a long way, and I'm good with him now. Like I actually enjoy listening to him.
Yeah, he's definitely coming to, like, he's made himself a fellow Louisianan. I think he went to Clemson. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely gotten better. Like 2019, he really came around. And his family was it was pretty cool. So I mean, like, I always thought he was a good dude. Like he's very pop culture savvy. If you ever listen to he's very smart and very pretty funny. He's really down to earth.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like Chris Blair a lot, and he's too good, which is such a, like, you can't really bust his what for that. So
yeah,
you can't really bust his chops for that.
Yeah, you can't bust.
I hate the new Twitter update with the live videos. I can't figure out how to post it to our timeline. So that's why I was distracted for a second, trying to figure out how to do that. Gabe, I see you in the chat. Paul says Blair is great. The Tommy White call, the Bear Jones call, those were good calls. And that was my complaint with Hawthorne, is that he would miss big calls by calling them the wrong names. But you are right, he had more excitement in his voice.
Oh yeah, so he's redeemed. I mean, he never had to redeem himself. Like he's done a great job. Like his calls are still on point, like very on point. But yes, I'd say that's probably his best call is the Tommy White home run. That was freaking nuts.
That was awesome.
Good. Yeah.
It was good. And then Doug being like in the middle of it, get out of here, Paul. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah. And Lion Up said, yeah, X is being weird with the chat tonight. Yeah. The streaming software said something about X was being.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So, I was listening to AP show with a guy he's really cool. I actually just started following him today. Do you know his name, Paul?
He was on the what's his name? Go Taylor, is that right?
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah,
Austin. Austin.
He's a sweetheart. Yeah, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Chip just calling everybody sweethearts tonight.
I always do that.
It's Mardi Gras. I'm feeling.
No, but I like. He's awesome. I think he's awesome, and they had kids walking around, so I'm like, man, I really need to watch my mouth more, and so I'm gonna do a better job of that.
Yeah, we did get one negative comment on TikTok or something from one of our videos. And it was actually, funny thing was, it was actually Zombie Bob, who curses probably less than me and Chip.
Yeah.
Like, and so somebody in the comments was like, oh, did this guy just learn how to curse yesterday? And I was like, I mean, he's 60 years old. I mean, Zombie Bob turned 60 this year. He learned how to curse 50 years ago. He can curse whenever he wants to. He's an old man at this point. Right. So, but
I didn't grow up like that, and I need to watch myself. So they bring a good point.
Yes, our father, me and Zombie Bob's father cursed like a sailor. So we were, unfortunately, I was 9 years old dropping F-bombs at LSU football games and was allowed to. Like it was just normal. It was socially acceptable when I sat next to my dad, especially if we were playing Alabama.
Just different.
Yeah,
yes,
I was allowed to at LSU games too.
So, but David, we have you here to talk about LSU baseball, amongst other things, and not just. But you are definitely more of the LSU baseball guy than we are. Not that we're zombie Bobs, didn't as he likes to say, didn't know LSU baseball existed. Right. We know a little bit, but obviously you bring a lot more knowledge to the table. So let's start with the Milwaukee series. You want to just, let me start with the first thing. I'm going to hit you with a question. What is your concern level? Or, that's not fair because we're not going to be panicky here. What are you looking for out of, because Case and Evans struggled, and I think that's a fair word to use.
That's fair.
In the first game. No need to hit the panic button, but what would you like to see out of him? What area would you like to see him improve on week 2 from week 1?
It's pretty simple for me. It's command of the zone and working ahead. I mean, I think it all starts right there. When you're falling behind. He didn't have a ton of walks last year. It was like under 20, I believe, in his 50 whatever innings it was. But he had a lot of like 2-3 ball counts, and he ran his pitch counts, per batter up a lot, so that's where he got in trouble. He did have the walks, on Friday, but that's it. I mean, when you fall behind, he's got good enough stuff to where he can bail himself out with it, a lot of times, but you did see it here and there where he had to throw it over the plate and one guy hits it out and he gets into trouble. Yeah.
And Paul said in the chat, using the word struggling might be a stretch. And I agree. That's why I kind of said, that's one of those borderline words that it was borderline there. And maybe it's just, he brought a C game or C minus.
He wasn't sharp.
Yeah. Wasn't sharp. And because the conversation all offseason was so much about, can he convert from a reliever to a starter? He's basically got the spotlight on him. And so when he comes out with a performance like that, it doesn't quiet the critics. And I'm a huge Case and Evans guy, but so I wish he would have quieted the critics is probably what I was hoping would happen because like we were talking about, there's so many options in the pitching staff. And so the more he continues to not perform at his best, the more the discussion is going to be about the other options, which competition does bring out the best in everybody. So maybe Cooper Williams going out there and following him up with a great outing puts a little more pressure on him to have a great outing this week.
I think especially too. I mean, it's your first start of the season, first game of the season. The crowd's packed. It's got to be just you got to be. I mean, how many strikeouts did he end up having, David?
7.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get better. Yeah. He's going to get better. So, I mean, you saw a glimpse of what he had last year too. And I would never say he struggled. There are some people that I have seen say some stuff like that. You're going to get that from fans sometimes.
It's always, I mean,
you won the games. You lost to Omaha last year. I mean, you won the national championship. I mean, it's baseball. And I know that's kind of a cliche term, but it's true.
No, it is. It is. I mean, it's fair to be, not I don't want to say concerned, but like question, if it continues at least, because what we saw his not being sharp, it was the same spots where he wasn't great on Friday were the same spots that he wasn't great in 2 of his starts last year. So it is a little bit of a trend, and you just trust that a guy with that talent is gonna figure it out. And I do, but that's it. He's just got to help himself out a little bit. But like I said, when you got the stuff that he's got, if that's his floor, then we're doing pretty good.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, it's not like he's going out there, and I don't want to jinx this, but it's not like he's going out there and not getting out of the first inning. I mean, I remember 2 years ago, Kate Anderson, who was it against? Didn't get out of the first inning, didn't get an out against somebody.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it was on the road, right?
It was. I don't know. It
Auburn. He struggled. I remember. Yeah, against Auburn that Sunday.
So about 2 years ago, his freshman year.
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is Auburn. I think you're right, Chip. That was it. Yeah, he didn't even get out of the first.
Stanfield blistered him up. Like, I mean, it was just it was one of those games where I'm like, we got to sweep this week, and then of course we kind of blew it on Sunday. But I mean, that was tough. That was it is what it is.
To wrap, I mean, like, he'll be better. I fully believe that.
And then William Schmidt, the other guy in the rotation. How do you feel about his performance Sunday? Because, I mean, he lit him up with strikeouts, but it's one of those things you want to see more in him solidify his spot. But so I'm not going to use the word struggled for him, because you can't say a guy pitched 4 innings, 9 strikeouts and struggled.
Yeah.
Or was it 4 innings?
We had the most strikeouts in the 3-game series history at LSU, right? I mean,
right. Yeah, it was 9 Ks, 3 walks. I mean, I wouldn't say struggle, but it's really the same thing, honestly. It was falling behind, early and then just having to fight back, but then when he worked ahead, he's striking out 9 guys. It's really that simple. And that's that sort of stuff. I mean, we've seen in some of our LSU baseball seasons where early in the season they do struggle. It was a couple of years ago with the amount of people that walked in the first weekend against a nobody. It was like, what are we doing, guys? Like, just throw it over the plate. Like, so I trust that. If he's just getting hit all over the yard, that's one thing. He gives up 3 hits, he gives up a home run. That's the thing. That's what we've talked about before, where if he can't locate his off speed, his fastball is straight, is not run and movement on it. And it's not a Ty Floyd fastball that can, just makes hitters swing and miss. So they can hit it, but it's, he's still striking out 9 guys. You got stuff, and he's still learning, and he's still young. He's going to get better.
Yeah. Paul says, I love Schmidt and trust his talent, but he struggled. So you want to see improvement. Yeah, you want to see improvement from both of those guys heading into this weekend.
Yeah.
I would just love to end the conversations about potential starters and just ride these 3 the rest of the season. But that's not always the case. And so guys go up and down. Maybe somebody else emerges. Maybe somebody you just can't deny from being a starter. So it is kind of what it is. Anybody else in or what other pitching staff notes did you have from the weekend, from the Milwaukee series in particular? I know we also played Kent State yesterday.
Well, it kind of carries over into Kent State, but even if you just look at just his Milwaukee performance, I mean, Gavin Guidry, it was, the return was electric. I mean, you couldn't have scripted a better return to the mound for him. It was unreal. We've talked about it, like his entrance, into the game, coming out of the bullpen, the standing ovation from the crowd. The whole moment was incredible. And then you think that in a moment like that, he can get caught up in the emotions and, struggle a little bit, or just, be shaky. It's been 20 months since he touched the mound, and now he just strikes out 5 in a row. Like, it just no problem. It was crazy. But him, and then Cooper Williams, I gotta show some love to my guy. He came in, and it was the same thing that he did in the scrimmage that I went to. He gives up a home run and then locks in and doesn't let anyone touch him after that. He gave up the home run, and then I went back and counted. He started the next 7 hitters with an 0-2 count after the home run.
Jeez.
Can't ask for more than that.
A first pitch strike is one thing. 0-2 is another thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that it's so crazy how this is all Guidry, how the ball just falls, like just the air comes out of it. It's just like, I mean, I'm sure I've seen a pitcher do that, but it's crazy seeing the fire he has, man. He's fiery and just guts,
Yeah, he makes me feel like an idiot for not even thinking about him as the closer for this year. But I just, like you said, I thought he was going to have some element of rust to him. And I thought there was going to be other guys that just stepped up. Like, my prediction to be the closer was Sheeran, and Sheeran's freaking awesome right now. But Guidry,
that's fair, yeah.
I didn't expect Guidry to just come out and just be the dude once again. From literally day one, he just came back as like, you know what? I'm still the dude. Like, the rest of y'all are great too, but I'm the guy when the game's on the line. So
he's a bulldog, man. And then the velocity being up to 93 with the fastball is, I mean, we heard about that last year, in the preseason when they were stretching him out. We heard that the velocity on that was up, and that was not the concern. He did just fine his first 2 years with it as it was, 88, 89, 90 topping out. But we had, we're like, if he wants to extend and go further and up his game, that's where it could be. And we had heard about it, never did get to see it. And yeah, coming off of a back injury, off the mound for 20 months. No, 90, 92, 93. Got it.
Yeah, because last year they were stretching him out, giving him the opportunity to be a starter before he got hurt. And I was like, I don't know if he's really got the pitches, like the repertoire to be a starter. But it's like, now I see it. But now it's like we don't really have the spots for it. But I mean, he's great where he is, elite where he is. But I see it now that he really has developed. And that's what I talked about last week, is Jay and Yeski are just like, yeah, they're elite recruiters, but they don't get enough credit for how well they develop guys too. Whether it's guys coming into the program and they take them to the next level, like a Stanfield, a Skeens, obviously, or it's guys that are here and they just get better and better. Man, it's crazy to me that they just do it over and over and over again. It's crazy.
I think what's crazy is that you say that, and it's just like you go see the players that leave him are better. I mean, not that it just shows you how elite LSU is. I mean, you saw what's his name? Was it
Mick Paul? Was the
just straight robbing someone this week. I mean, it was good to see him do that because I love him, and it's just playing outfield at LSU isn't for the faint of heart.
Yeah, he couldn't get on the field here. Like that was the guy I remember reading last year before the postseason. He had already put in his paperwork, told Jay, Jay told him, like, you need to look into the transfer portal because you're good enough to play somewhere else, and I just don't have a spot for you. And he didn't want to go anywhere. And he's like, but I don't want to quit on my team. And Jay let him travel with the rest of the team through the postseason, even though he was already in the portal. So it was a guy who truly bled purple and gold and wanted to be here. And that's the good thing about the transfer portal. I know the transfer portal gets shit on a lot for a lot of good reasons. Like college sports are being ruined by a lot of things. We'll talk about jersey patches in a minute. But that's the reason the transfer portal's there, is somebody like a Mick Paul. And so that's why I like seeing it.
And Paxton Kling is another one. He struggled to stay on the field his first 2 years, had all the promise. He goes to Penn State last year and hits double-digit home runs, and I forgot where he got drafted, but, same thing to your point, Chip. Even the guys that leave, go on and succeed.
I thought I remember him batting in the 300s plus too, like 320 maybe.
He was for a while. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember where he finished, but
I remember watching the Big Ten tourney, and I was like, okay, he still got the batting average up. And I wasn't against it. This thing,
seventh round by the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, and he couldn't even see the field. He could sniff the field, but he couldn't.
He wasn't a full-time player.
Yeah,
and I mean, there's a guy who's a seventh round pick, once given an everyday opportunity.
Yeah, right.
And
where did Mick Paul end up?
Houston.
Okay. I didn't realize that. So
they had a great series this week. They're pretty good. They're back because they were good when I was growing up. They're back. So
yeah, I forget what team it was exactly.
I do, but not to sidetrack, but I just was watching this before we went live. Speaking of a pitcher who hasn't done well when he left, and we could see him on Sunday. Chandler Dorsey is at UCF. Miami was down 5-2 going into the ninth inning, and Dorsey comes in. He hit 4 straight people, and then they scored a couple of runs to tie the game. I turned it off. I don't know, but yeah, it was brutal.
I hate to see those guys struggle. I mean, unless they go to you hate to see them struggle.
That was a name I totally forgot about.
I totally forgot about Dorsey too.
He was the first. It's weird that I remember it. certain things like this, but he was the first transfer portal addition, last offseason. But what was that? So at the end of 24, he was the first one, and it was like, oh, this is a closer from USF. He's got some stuff, and then we didn't see him for a couple of weeks, and then he just couldn't get it going. He just, once he got his chance, he just didn't do anything with it, and then,
he only pitched in 5 games, 5 innings.
Which was crazy because I had heard some stuff that he was going to be. He was a big boy, right? 6'4" guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's big.
Oh, yeah. Jay recruits nothing but huge guys.
Yeah.
You're right.
Paul and La Cobra both say Primo can go somewhere else. We can let him go be great somewhere else. Yeah. But there might be a game where you're out of lefties. You're going deep into a game. You might need one guy for a lefty-lefty matchup. I mean, is that what Primo's role is going to be moving forward?
Unless he gets better. I mean, he could. Sunday was that Sunday or was that last night? They're all running together.
Was that last night?
I think it was last night. I think it was last night. Yeah, but not off to a good start. I mean, it was hit, walk and hit a guy. He didn't even give up a hit, and he gave up 2 runs last night.
Yeah, about that. That's kind of the bad part, right? Like that's what
right.
You're like. But David, though, and Paul and all of you on the chat, like, I mean, Kent State's not bad squad.
No.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad they had beaten Southeastern this weekend. I knew they won the series. I didn't know they swept the series, and I didn't know that they had dominated the series until like the 3rd inning of the game last night. And so
33-12.
Jeez, because Southeastern's usually decent, not like they're world beaters,
they are,
but they're normally decent. And so I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah. Well, to come
lineup.
To come from Ohio and go to Hammond, it's not easy, right?
Yeah, especially the cold weather team comes down and beats up on the warm weather team early in the season. You don't usually.
We saw that with Milwaukee. Like, they hit the ball very well. They had some good arms. Where did they struggle the most was defense. They made so many errors. They look like a team that has not practiced outside. Like, it's exactly on display what they talk about with these teams coming down north who haven't had a chance to get outside. But I mean, that's a solid team too. And talk about these teams that are Milwaukee's going to be a good team. They didn't even have their ace either for this week. He's out for like a week or 2 or something like that. But they'll be in contention as well.
Yeah, I guess those teams, like Paul says, respect to Milwaukee. Offensively, they're a good club. I guess that's all they can do up there is just sit around and bat in the batting cages. And so they're geared up, ready to hit the ball. I never really thought of it that way, but I guess that's all they can do.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, college baseball is regional. It's tough, man. They do all that travel. And I remember when I first heard that like 20 years ago, I was like, I never thought about that. It's like an 8th grader. I was like, God, it's terrible.
Yeah, we take it for granted.
That, like, some of those northern teams, how good they do. I mean.
All right, so David, my next question for you. Switching gears here, we're going to go to the infield.
Let's do it.
Obviously, the big question was second base. Is Seth Dardar the guy now? Is it his spot to take?
It absolutely should be. Jay's still gonna swap people around just because that's what he does. But yeah, I mean he's out in front for sure. I mean that all weekend was just incredible. He took advantage of every single chance he got. And I mean, when we want to get to it, I can go on about that moment when he hits that home run. It was just incredible. It was awesome. And then he didn't just stop there. He hits another home run. He draws 3 walks, last night. He's made the most of every single chance that he's gotten so far. So it's, but the other guys aren't letting up. Tanner Reeves gets a start in left field last night and goes, 2 for 4, doubles off the wall. It's still going to be open just because that's how Jay is. But I would absolutely say that Dardar is in the lead right now.
Yeah, and I love Jay's quote after the game. I was listening to this press conference afterwards, and he said that Tanner Reeves was a guy that could have transferred, but didn't wanted to stick it out here. And so for him to go out and have success, even though Dardar had success, you never know when you might need him at some point. So like with Stanfield being hurt, you don't know when you need him. So
exactly.
So even if Dardar is the guy, I'm already on record that I was obsessed with Dardar before the season started. So obviously, yeah. Well, it wasn't even the North Shore thing because he went to Holy Cross, so I'm holding that against him.
Yeah, for sure. What's what he said?
Same.
It's what he said about going in the transfer portal. Like, I only went in the portal in hopes that LSU would call. Like, dude, that would 100% be me if I was good enough to be a college baseball player and good enough to play at Kansas State or wherever. I would totally just put my name in the portal, just hoping LSU would call. So, like, that just
did you hear him?
Gets me.
Did you hear him tell the story about like the whole like being in the portal? Like I don't remember which show it was that he talked about it on, but he went in. I'll have to send it to you, or we'll find it. I don't want to not do it justice, but basically he went in. He was waiting for LSU to call, and then some other teams were calling. It was a bunch of big names. I mean, all the big names that you can think of were calling him, and he's waiting. Well, then he missed a call from Josh Jordan because he was on the phone with somebody else, and he saw the number. He saw 225 or whatever it was calling him, and he's like, I didn't want to be rude and hang up on the other guys. So while he's still on the phone with whoever it was, Josh Jordan's texting him like, "What are you doing? Answer the phone!" Like, and he's like, "I just didn't want it." That just shows him being a good kid, you know. Instead, his dream school is literally calling him, and he refuses to just hang up on whoever he's talking with. So he immediately called back, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I would totally just like, oh, sorry, my phone disconnected, and call that other person back. Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry, it did call him back like 15 minutes. Yeah, my battery died. Sorry.
Very easy for a self-drive, so you can make that excuse, right?
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to say, it's every time. It seems like every time we win a national championship, there's always one or two guys from Louisiana that aren't the most talented guys in the world. And I mean, obviously Dardar's showing that he's talented, but like high-end MLB guys is what I'm trying to say. They're like Cade Beloso. There's always a local Cade Beloso on a national championship team that's like your glue guy. And maybe Dardar ends up being that guy. Or maybe Dardar ends up being a first-round draft pick. Who knows? I'll settle for that too. So, yeah, Dugas is probably a better example, as Paul said.
I was going to say, Dugas. I mean, both of them, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's it's awesome. The kid's had
G Moose says a Pearson.
Like, Pearson, yeah. He's had like 6-figure job offers on it. And he's got a business degree from Columbia, so I know I'm not breaking news here, but he's had like job offers on the table for the last 2 or 3 years, you know, and just he keeps, you know, he was thinking, let's just keep trying it, and it's all worked out for him. I'm so happy for a kid like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just texted me and said, don't forget to hit the don't forget to like and subscribe button. So throwing that out there in the middle. So everybody, if you're watching, David's doing articles for our website now. So you can sign up. So speaking of subscribing, everybody on this podcast tonight is actually subscribed to the email list. You can subscribe to the email list. So anytime that we post an article from David, it'll go to your inbox. So Chip, good job signing up on that too. Chip's on the ball. So I didn't even tell Chip about it. Chip subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed when I was looking at the list.
Like I don't know what's the word. Like I saw it and I was like, I just want to try it out and all that. And I'm like, I hope I don't look like, I don't know, a weirdo that's signing up to get emails from my own articles being posted.
Well, no, I did it so that I'd make sure it was working, but it was actually Paul.
That's kind of
Yeah, it was actually Paul that our Chip's number. I should say this since he has a nickname. Chip's #1 fan, Paul, in the chat tonight, that was like, hey, can you do a subscribe thing for it? I'm like, yeah, I've seen the feature on the website, but I don't know exactly how it works. And so after he DM'd me, or I forget, maybe it was a tweet, I don't remember where, I set it up and I signed myself up to make sure that it worked too. So
yeah,
but everybody, at least listening tonight, Yeah, Paul was thinking ahead. Innovator there. So shout out. Oh, Chip, I saw this. This is the second time G Moose has said this about the website picture for you. I don't think it looks mincy.
I'm not that heavy. I think
no. It's Chip without a beard. I just stole your profile picture from
you're talking
Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then I was actually, believe it or not, you can't tell because I have a baby face, so I always look super unathletic. It's been my whole life. And then believe it or not, I'm a pretty good athlete. But I was actually pretty jacked then. I was like probably 180, like 9% muscle. This was in 2018 after the Georgia game. It was a fun time. Dang. But then I got fat a couple years later.
But now Chip has lost the weight. So there was actually a comment earlier in the chat about how York has elite speed. LaCobra said York has that elite speed. Paul says fat people can run too. And I was going to make a joke, Chip, that you can't say that anymore since you've lost. How many pounds?
60 something.
60 pounds. So,
damn.
So as AP peptide, says, peak athlete Chip. Chip was a speedster wide receiver.
I know.
And then also like a cross country guy in long distance runner too.
Yeah, I was a mid distance runner, but when I joined the Army, I became a pretty good. I was like running high tens in the 2 miles. But yeah, my dad is an athlete. He was a Division I track guy and also a Olympic guy too. So I mean, that's in my blood to run. But I had to learn how to catch.
You corrected to from long distance running to mid distance running. Let me be clear here. Any distance running is long distance running for me.
Exactly.
I could never stand it.
No, I couldn't either. And Chip, up until Chip like broke his back and broke his legs in the Army, like Chip could just get up and run like 10 miles without doing anything for like 6 months. Like, let's say he would just take 6 months off from running. He would just be able to get up and run 10 miles. I'm like, dude, how do you do this? Like, how do you just get up and go after not even doing this for 6 months? Some people just have it.
Yep.
But then the back, it was more the back than the legs, right, Chip?
Well, it's got the metal in my leg now, and it's just
that's what it is.
When I hit the pavement so hard, the doctor told me I was going to lose some time off my run time, but I was also being a kind of a little ninny when I was. It's better to do something than not. So I started walking again, and then now I'm back to running 3 or 4 miles a day. So
yeah. So Chip's a victory for all of us here tonight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's hope to keep it off though. Let's hope I can keep going.
Yes. Next player. Who do you want to talk about next? David, I'll throw it to you.
Let's go with the outfield.
Well, we're on the infield. Let me wrap up with just one thing on the infield because I saw Paul mention it earlier. We got to shout out Zach York. It would not just at the plate, defense, everything. I mean, he's been as advertised so far. I mean, the dude hits missiles, and I gave Paul some crap because we went back and forth before the season started about if there's anybody that could hit 20, on this team. And he said Zach York is he had 32 in 3 years at Grand Canyon. And it's Jay Johnson. So I didn't think it was really possible, not because I didn't think he had power, but just he's such a pure hitter that, you saw it in his last at bat last night. He smokes the ball and it gets 10 feet off the ground and hits the wall. That's what I was thinking. But I'll be damned. He may get to 20 with the way he swings the bat, and then not to be outdone. He can move over there at first base. I've been saying this. He's not just at first base because he's a big guy. He's just a big guy that happens to play first base.
Yeah, it's Mike Allstott running the base pass, dude. Did you see that, dude? That guy misjudged that so bad. He's runs out. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He was shocked that thing just kept carrying. His home run was like that too. It wasn't that far off the ground. Now, What about? Obviously, I'm a huge York fan. How can you not be? And also an LSU fan. I thought it was a home run. That was one of the highest hit balls I've ever seen.
I saw. Was it John Eads that had the angle?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I thought it was
Eads
one
had
until
an
I saw
angle
that.
Eads' angle, it was foul.
Oh, was it? Okay. But
yeah,
my issue was you could read the refs' lips on TV, and they were like, I have no clue. Like literally, a couple of them said, like I was like, God, I don't know. But I mean, obviously, I think it was a home run, even if Eads did have that, because I want him to have 3 home runs right now.
Yeah. Now, sure, we can go with it. I'm down for that.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, man.
Yeah. I am all purple and gold here. So
yeah, what day was that? Was that Saturday or Sunday?
That was
Friday.
Friday.
Oh, was it Friday?
Because it would have been the second home run of the game.
Yeah, it was right. It was. I was like, yo, like just his first one was yoked too, man. I mean, it almost got out of the whole stadium too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love York. Love York as long as he's hitting. If he strikes out in a big situation,
yeah, you talked about
motherfucker. That. But only another fat guy can call him that. So
I don't know how many times we're going to see that though, because we've also seen his plate discipline all weekend.
Yeah,
I mean that's some of his at bats. If you give me a second, I can total it up. But like it
got beamed a couple times. Like I mean, dude, that and he's not slow. Like I mean, like you said. Yeah, I thought it was down the line too. I mean, I'd have to see
Paul and Chip just always on the same wavelength.
Yeah, it's my boy. Those 3 guys in that picture, I know David's right in front of me, class acts, amazing people. Those guys, I want them to be on the same cloud with me in heaven. Those 3 guys. Those are my team right there.
Those are the people you're riding the cloud with.
Those are the guys I'm riding with. We're going to Ole Miss, right, David? Come on this year. I know we're not talking about football right now. Yeah.
Oh, pro football. Okay, I thought because we play there in baseball too, I believe.
Well, let's go there too.
Let's do it all. Go team trip.
Yeah. Well, Go Team is making a trip to the Tennessee game. So
football.
Yeah, for football.
I'm trying to get a coalition to go to Ole Miss. I heard the guys on AP show talking about it. I was like, I'm gonna go as of right now. If I can get some guys to roll with me, I'm there. I'm not going there by myself.
Yeah, right. It's week 3, so that's around my birthday.
What AP said, he goes, man, I'm a black man. I'm not going to. And then some Ole Miss fans like, come on, we're not that bad. And I was like, man, the first time I was there in 2009, when we hit the kneeling game, the non-spike game with, I mean, they had a KKK rally. So, like, I completely understand with you why you wouldn't. But I'm going to be there. Paul's going to be there. We're all going to be there. And we got your back, AP. You ain't going to let anything happen to you. I'll die before you do.
I'll pray for your well-being here in Baton Rouge for that one.
You just got to worry about the frat boys over there, though. They're
I know. It's just because me and Zombie Bob have already committed to Tennessee that
I'm gonna go to that too.
And it's one of those situations like being there for the Ole Miss game, if we win, is going to be one of the single greatest things in the world. But if we're there and we lose, you're going to want to get out of town as quick as you can. So it's one of those high risk, high reward situations.
Besides that rally, it was an amazing trip.
Yeah.
Like, and besides the Les Miles sticking his thumb over his ass. But it was a pretty fun trip, to be honest.
Yeah, anybody's welcome to come to Tennessee with us.
AP, you're coming to Ole Miss with me. Shut up.
I did look up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. York had 4 walks on the weekend. Sorry, I just wanted to get it before we moved on. That's second behind only Dardar with 5.
Yeah, I knew Dardar led team with 5. I knew that because I'm obsessed with Dardar.
So walk per game.
Looked up. Yeah. Do you want to go outfield and talk a little Jake Brown, future Golden Spikes winner?
Man, let's do it. He I've been on my high horse, whatever you want to say. One of my bold predictions was that he was going to lead the team in home runs, and boy, do I feel good about that right now.
Yes,
he looks great.
Yeah, he's 4. What is it? 4 right now? 4 games in.
4. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, naturally, he's on pace for 65 on the season. I mean, that's going to happen, right?
Like that. And
depending on how many games we play.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact 3 of them are, I think all 4 of them are over 400 feet too. Like, it's not cheap ones. He's pissing on the ball, dude.
The one dead
I
center,
get it, like,
dead in the middle of the wall, like, was just like, I mean,
right?
that was if there was a guy sitting in a water thing, one of those little bullseyes where they fall into the water. That's where it was, I mean, gosh.
That was with the wind blowing in too. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Did it blow in? Was it blowing in all week? I think. I mean, because it looked like if they got, it wasn't okay.
It shifted Sunday. It was blowing out like straight to left on Friday and Saturday, and then with that weather that came in Saturday night, it shifted and started blowing in.
And that's what happened with us against Omaha. We were just like lifting balls to the warning track, and none of them were going over. And I was like, could happen again. But you all you wanted to do this weekend was win, and you did that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They won in different ways too. Like, but with Jake too, and like I get it. Like, obviously he's not going to stay on pace for the 60 home runs or whatever it is, but like I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, he's not going to do an SEC play. Let me remind you that he finished second on the team in home runs in SEC play last year with 6 of them, tied with Monster, only 1 behind Bear, and Bear hit 3 in the South Carolina series, the last series of the game, to pass them up. So he was that close to leading the team, and he only started 16 SEC games. It was like 70 something at bats in the SEC, and he hit. So he's done it in the SEC. So I don't put it past him. Like I said, he's not going to do what he's doing. He's going to cool off. We know that, but he's capable of hitting them all through SEC play. I know we got a long way to go to get that, but I don't know how you can't be just thrilled with what you saw out of him.
I'm not good with baseball, like knowing if you're going to be a first rounder or not. But the first time I saw him, I was like, that guy can fly. He's athletic. I was like, that guy. I think I talked to Camp 2 years. I was like, that guy's a first rounder. Like, and I don't know if I'm right about that, but I mean, he's a high round guy, and like that guy's he's an athlete. And I know he made the mistake against North Carolina, but that's tough play, man. It's up in the air. It's right in the twilight. You're backing up and the wall's uneven. It's just, that's a tough play.
I mean, it happened to him. What was that, Saturday? Where it was straight in the sun. That was scary. Yeah, by the way.
Sure. Those are so hard.
Just happens. Yeah, but yeah, he's 5'2" for sure.
Well, he kind of got lost in the mix because he was the same freshman class as Ashton Larson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
And Larson kind of got off to a hotter start than he did.
Yeah.
And so both of them played a lot as freshmen, but Larson more so.
I want to say, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying he got kind of lost behind Larson, but Chip, you're right. I mean, he's got all the tools. Clearly he has more because Larson's not around anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he ended up. Somebody said something. Oh yeah, Texas. That's right. Yeah, is he playing?
I tried to look at the first 2 games. I didn't see him. I
think he started on Friday and then came in like late in the game Saturday. And then I was talking to, I think, was it LaCobra was talking about it with me on Sunday. He was that he, or it may have been Paul, maybe it was Paul then, that he was doing pretty much the same thing over there that he was doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay another year and you're starting next year, probably. It's just kind of, it's just the people these days, they want everything right then and there. But Brown hit the ball over the net in North Carolina, if I remember correctly. I mean, there's a net that it's like, it's really high up there, and he hit it over the net. So, I mean, he has that.
That's what the gets too. Like that he made that mistake, and it cost him at the end of that last game, but he hit the home run to tie the game, or he's either tie the game or take the lead. That like they're not even there if he didn't swing the bat and do what he did,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's something about when a lefty gets a hold of one, and it's just something that is so beautiful about a left-handed hitter. That one that you were talking about, like deep left center, Chip, that was just a bomb. Mm-hmm. That one was so beautiful, such a beautiful swing. I watched it on repeat like 10 times in a row. I'm like, I could just sit here and watch this swing over and over again.
I mean, did Paul tweet it out? Was it just Shohei Ohtani? I mean, just similar swing.
Oh, that was Zach. I was gonna point that out. Zach Nunez. Yeah, I was gonna say I got to give my boy a shout out.
Yeah. Nunez tweeted out, and it was like, that was pretty spot on.
It was. It was like a little dip when he starts to swing, and then the finish and like the high finish. Yeah. Yep.
Paul said twice, David, check your phone. I want to see your reaction on air live.
Okay.
So, let's see. Is there any other head shake?
Yeah. He just sent me like an image. But yeah, let's go, Paul. What was he gonna say about Jake? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. So we're talking about like by the end of the year. Jay talked about it recently. I think over the weekend after one of the press conferences, he said that he struggled to get on the field, just like we were talking about throughout the year. And then he said by the end of the year, like in that regional, he said he knew how good he was, and he's like, we're just going to take our lumps and just play the freshman, and just whatever happens if he makes some freshman mistakes. But he's like, the kid's too talented not to play.
For sure.
Absolutely. There was one other thing before we get too far away. G-Moose said he wanted to meet Big Orange Mac. Mac is hilarious, and that is the reason why we're doing the Tennessee trip. For those of you who don't know, Big Orange Mac, big Tennessee fan. We went there in 2017, like took care of us, and then he came down in 2022. We took care of him. Chip got in a fight with an LSU fan.
Yeah, that was back.
An LSU fan, and Big Orange Mac has the funniest quote of all time. Anytime two LSU fans get in fights and it's on video, he calls it purple on purple crime. And so it's the funniest quote.
I was just defending LSU.
You were defending Brian Kelly.
I know it's someone who I would never defend now, but I mean, come on, you're begging for him to get fired in the first game, like the fourth game of the season.
Yeah, we'd only lost one game at that point.
Yeah, and it ended up being a pretty good season. You won the SEC, so I mean, I could take that as a W, right?
Yeah.
I am gonna apologize to him next year because I do see him quite frequently at the games, and I never said anything. I'm gonna be like, you were right, I was wrong, I guess.
Brian Kelly.
Yes.
Anybody else on the outfield you want to talk about?
What's Stanfield's injury final? I mean, have they come out? I know I saw a tweet earlier today.
No, Jay talked about it yesterday after the game. So he slid in the home on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It was I think he got called out, and he banged up his hand. He said it's a bruised hand. It was swollen a good bit. They said that they were hoping that he said Sunday after the game that they were hoping he would be ready to go for Monday if the swelling went down. And obviously he wasn't in the lineup. And then after the game last night, he said that it didn't go down as much as they had hoped. And he said that he can still he can still field and run and catch. And he said that he could be defensive, but he said that like the hitting and swinging is going to be the last thing to come just because of where it is, like having to turn the bat over, he said. But so it doesn't seem like it's anything. They're just going to play it safe, and which it's kind of a free chance to give some of these other guys time anyway. We know what Stanfield can do. We've seen three years of them, so it's nothing to be concerned about.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
And it gives an opportunity to give some of these other guys at bats,
right,
and kind of sort out. And he's used it to kind of sort out, he used it to give Pearson at bats at third. And Caraway moving to second. I did not see that coming.
I didn't either.
And that's when I tweeted you and Paul. I'm like, I didn't see that. I didn't have, what did I say? I didn't have this on my bingo card or something stupid like that. But I hadn't heard anything about him playing that position. And so that's why I tweeted the two of y'all. And I think it was you, David, that said you didn't hear about him playing that position either at all.
No, I hadn't seen it. He had moved, I think in one or two of the scrimmages that I went to, he had moved to shortstop actually, like late in the game, like when they're just really messing around. But I guess if he's comfortable even doing that, then that should say that he would be, capable of playing second. But no, I did not know that. That was one that I wasn't sure of. I mean, it's, he's athletic enough, so it's not surprising. But yeah, I don't know if it was more about just keeping him in to get the at-bats while also getting Pearson the game at third. But yeah, no, I don't think we'll see a ton of that, to be honest, though.
Yeah, just my gut feeling, and I know nothing, is just that he likes the Pearsons so much. Like, hey, here's a way of getting him a start at third, not just a DH. You know, So
I do think not that we're going to get too far into it, but I think John Pearson's your starting third base of the future. So I mean, I could see him, trying to work that in throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, also Braun, man, just caught it on the inside of the plate and took it out. That's strength right there. Like just bombed it out there. It was it reminded me of Blair Barbier's home run in the Natty in 2000, where it just took the inside of it and just skied it out. It's just a lot of power.
The barrel control to keep that through the zone like that and stay on it's impressive for a freshman.
Yes. Braun's going to be a really good player. And you need a lot of those guys to get some experience this year. I mean, we're loaded this year. So, I mean, you don't want to look forward to next year, but Jay is thinking about those things, like you said, about Pearson starting at third next year, because you lose a lot off of going from this year to next year. So you need to get guys like that at bats for the stability of the program. And I know you're all in on year one. You can't think, I'm not year one this year. You can't think about the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he I mean, that's what he did with Aaron Beatty last year, aside from giving Hernandez, a little bit of breaks, but he knew that Cade's the catcher of the future, so he got him a lot of, playing experience, not just non-conference. I mean, he started, almost every Saturday SEC game too. So he knows what he's doing with that.
Yeah. So any other, or Paul says in the chat, who's at shortstop next year?
He's baiting me. We have a bet, him and I. So I think it's going to be Jack Ruckert, and he thinks it's going to be Ethan Claus. So we've been back and forth about it all day on Sunday. Like first, we won't get into it. I think it'll be Ruckert personally, but it could very well be Claus. But whoever ends up winning, if it's Ruckert, he has to buy me a Ruckert jersey. If it's Claus, I have to buy him a Claus jersey.
That's hysterical. So what if it ends up being somebody in the transfer portal?
I guess we both lose.
Wash.
It's a wash.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, that's a crazy thing. You don't know who's going to be you don't know who's going to be available, but you still have to develop those guys, and you have to plan on it being those guys, because if you go into we're going to get a guy out of the transfer portal, and then nobody's really available that's worth it, so you can't really go that route. So
yeah.
Who do you think's starting at pitching tomorrow against Nichols?
Oh, all right. So
this is a wild card.
I like this question.
It is. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give you that information. It's not like it's inside information, but something that I noticed was that last night Cooper Williams was doing the charting with Nate Yeske, and generally the pitcher that's going to start the next game is the one that does that. So that could not necessarily amount to anything. I mean, I think it would be strange if they start him against Nichols, when Jay's talking about him being the most important piece of the bullpen, but that is something to note. Don't be shocked, and especially if they want to get him, that first start on the mound, just see how he does. But I would say, Paul said it, Zion Theophilus. It's either him or Reagan Ricken, one of the freshmen is who I'd guess, because they're both, during the scrimmages, they were both two of the guys that would start games, in the, game 3 or 4 of the weekend. That would be my guess.
Yeah. The thing about if you do go Cooper Williams, you can control the situation. You can protect him basically.
Yeah.
Like that he could still be used. Like it gets him in a starter routine in case you need to use him. And then you can control his usage and get him out after 1 inning if you only want 1 inning or 2 innings or 3. I doubt they go 3, but because we play on Friday and it'd be it's 1 or 2 innings. You can control it better. So I could see that happening.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
I'll buy that insider information alert. Is what Cooper says.
It was just on TV.
So
we just did you.
Who does Paul think? I mean, you think it's gonna be one of those two for sure? I mean, it's
one of those 3.
One of those 3, yeah.
I would bet it would be one of those 3, if I had to guess.
I'm glad you said Zion How do I pronounce it properly?
Theophilus.
because I have been
that was one of the ones
looking at the roster, and I have not actually heard the name. I think I heard it on like one preview show. Like I don't remember. It was Musso. It wasn't Matt Moscona. It was not Matt Moscona. I'll just throw that out there. It was either Musso or Hunt. It was probably the Musso Hunt preview show because I do like that preview show. I think that was the only time I actually ever heard the name. But I keep looking at the roster. I'm like, how the hell do you say this name? But
yeah, it took me a little bit too.
The Awfulus. The Awfulus.
That's our guy. Hey, dude, Paul's always there with the that's why I asked the chat, because Paul's always on it.
Ooh, okay, Chip. This comment is for you. I'm gonna let you take this. Paul says Musso is a Moscona with hair. Say 3 Hail Marys. How do you feel about Musso's podcast by himself, Chip? Not with Hunt. Although you don't like Hunt either, do you?
I like them all, dude. I like them all. I'm not gonna
Chip, you don't have kids that go to grade schools in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
people's wives work,
dude. But I'll I mean, you know where I stand on it. I mean, they must be forced to say it. I mean, those guys were like, it's almost like they were bred to be on that show. I mean, that guy's been working for, I mean, I don't know how old he is. I can't remember when I first saw him come around, but I'm a Jimmy Chest hair guy. We'll just say that.
I like Musso.
Yeah, I like Musso. He's a good kid. I mean, good guy. He seems like a nice guy. But I think it's great that he's where he's at. It's a good spot. I mean,
yeah,
I'd love to do that job. So I'm not going to hate on anybody, but we'll keep our feelings ourselves, So
no, I think Musso does a good job.
Yeah, it's a tough job. He's got to please Matt Moscona all the time. I mean,
well, I just mean on his own show. He
some of the loves baseball. He's a baseball guy.
Exactly.
Baseball.
Exactly.
But like
he's knowledgeable. I just wish he didn't try to sound like Moscona. That's my complaint.
That's fair.
Yeah,
he tries to duplicate Moscona.
He's mean to his watchers. He yells at them. I don't like that. That's not my style. But if it's his style, it's fine, and it works for him. And so I'm not up. Whatever. To each his own. But
AP asked me on a text if we got in trouble. I just have a rule. I just have a rule that I have to be careful because somebody's spouse works at the school that my son goes to.
And also, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm not trying to hate because there's a lot of hate going on in this world, and I'm not trying to do that. And honestly, AP, your show tonight, I saw little kids walking around. I'm like, why am I doing that? Why am I being? This isn't the infantry. This isn't football locker room. Like, what am I doing? But yeah, I'm gonna let it fly sometimes. Just who I am, unfortunately. But like I said,
not far from Riverbend. How would I describe where I am without be vague? I don't know where I am. My wife just has been texting me that there's apparently gunshots at the Breck Park right by our house.
I mean, do you think that's really gunshots, or do you think?
I don't think so, but you know how my wife is.
No chance.
I think we're in a nice area.
There's no chance.
Beautiful St. I'll tell you this, Paul. I'm in St. George. I'm not in Baton Rouge.
There's not a chance that there was gunshots to your wife, who I love. But
she says the neighborhood moms group called the cops, and the cops are going to Highland Road Park to check on it.
Yeah, it's not gunshots. I can already tell you.
So I just gave away. I live near Highland Road Park.
Yeah,
I just gave it away.
There's no way.
No, they're probably not.
Yeah,
although it could be.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I don't think it is.
There's some wooded areas across Highland from me. I mean, somebody could be in the woods over there.
There's no telling nowadays. That's the crazy thing.
For sure. You can't ever be too cautious, right?
Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, Paul, if you're in Riverbend, you live way closer to Alex Box than I do.
Paul
Gabe says sounds like Daniel lives in a rough area. There's gunshots. I mean, Who knows?
I don't know. I think everywhere's rough nowadays, unfortunately. I think it's just
I do have a quick story. If
get political or anything. So
I can tell a tangent here real quick. In the old neighborhood that we lived in, there were apartments, well, there were condos across the street from where we lived, and those condos are not in the best shape. And there was some renters that had a domestic dispute. Let's just say that. The girlfriend was involved with another man, and then the boyfriend walked in on him, and so a fight ensued. The 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 lover, I guess, he fled across the street to the convenience store. The boyfriend chased him, and then in the middle of my old street at the very front of the neighborhood, this is not funny, he was shot and killed. And so for like 6 months after that, at the front of our neighborhood was a memorial because somebody got shot and killed in the center median in the front of the neighborhood. And my wife would go on this rant. My wife would go on this rant about how awful it was for property values that, like, you turn into our neighborhood and there's a memorial for somebody who was shot and killed right here. So,
yeah,
but that was the old neighborhood, not the new neighborhood. So.
And it wasn't even a bad neighborhood.
No, it was a nice little neighborhood. I mean, the houses were smaller, but it was a nice little neighborhood.
Yeah, it was a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's just
Chip lived in that neighborhood with me.
Society, man.
It was because the apartments across the street were a little rough. But it was a domestic dispute from there.
But
anyway,
in Uptown, man, sometimes you just get them, just.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anything else with LSU baseball, David?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I just want to say, because I'm sure there's some people out there that are not freaking out, but just being those fans about it. That Derek Ariel, kind of had a weird weekend, or at least Friday and Saturday. It was very unlike him to swing at balls way out of the zone and all that. And then Sunday he strikes out in his first at bat, and it's like, oh, what's going on? And then it was 3 RBI singles in a row after that strikeout. And it's like, okay, yeah, he's still Derek Ariel. So
he's gonna dial in. There's someone that talented. He's gonna dial in. I think people are just upset that I said 8 home runs. I'm looking pretty good on that right now. Just throwing it out there. I'm just joking. I think he'll hit more than 8. But that was my prediction, Dave.
Oh, you say yeah.
Just because it's there's always those sophomore, and I don't. By the way, take this lightly. This is not. I don't think he's going to slump at all. But it's just it's hard for guys like that. I think Bregman had a rough, or did he have a really good? He had a rough
sophomore year.
Really bad, yeah.
But he came around at the end.
Yeah, he came around for the postseason. A lot like Milam last year.
And it happens. You see it all the time. It's he's going to slump at some point in the season, and I say that lightly. And he's going to come back around. He's too good of a player. It's not going to last. Just bear with him.
Yeah, it's like there's pressure on them as sophomores. Like the pressure ramps up, and then teams adjust to you. They know who you are, and it's different. You're not just some. Well, I mean, Curiel's a bad example because he was a leadoff hitter and integral in part of your lineup last year too. So, but like some guys go from like 7-hole hitters to all of a sudden being right in the middle of the lineup,
right?
And so you can't. They attack you different in those situations.
G-Moose mentioned it. Monster had that same issue last year. He was like, people forget because he just finished the season and showed up when it matters the most, but he was pretty rough for a good part of, I don't know, it was in the 200s, low 200s that he hit in SEC play. And then,
211. I remember hearing 211.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, it's go ahead.
No, after you finished saying what you're going to say, I thought you were.
I was just going to say, there's also something to these guys haven't seen, minimum 90 miles an hour, for the last 4 weeks of scrimmages, and then going back to fall. And then it's, hey, here's Milwaukee where they top out at 87, 86. Like that's a big part of it. Not everyone's just going to automatically, adjust to. And I didn't see a whole lot of people or really anybody saying anything about Curiel. I kind of just wanted to point out that he did a very Derek Curiel thing and went 3 RBI singles in a row. It just bounce right back. So.
Hey, who else is? I'm just gonna finish. I'm just gonna get all the camaraderie going. Screw D1 baseball.
I don't understand it. Yeah.
Like, dude.
Well, my problem is that they're gonna cancel the. Should I say?
Don't say no. We know what
we have a rule that we don't say the name of a certain stream that you can watch LSU baseball.
Oh yeah, right.
Unfortunately,
isn't it Podna now?
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's. Yeah.
But my biggest problem with Kendall Rogers is I've gotten into it with him on Tiger Droppings before too. Is like, don't promise this premium product and give us a shit product, and then don't go and cancel our streaming service for the entire season because of one weekend. Like, you're screwing us over for the whole season.
It takes a while to get on the site. Like, it's like 1997,
Yeah.
It was awful last year, and it was awful the year before, and it was like, it was a big deal. Like, it went down for a little bit. I remember him freaking out and talking about it. So you think that they would have been on it last year, and then no, it was the same thing. So you said, Chip, just be prepared to try to get into that stream 15, 20 minutes early, maybe even more on Friday. It's brutal.
It is brutal.
Yeah, because he's gonna take those streams off. He knows about him. He lurks on Tiger Droppings.
Yeah, he lurks on Tiger Droppings, and some dumbass will just say it. Oh yeah, go check it out. It's right here, and then he just goes there and reports them like the douchebag he is.
Yeah.
I have a rule: I won't talk about certain people at 104.5. I don't give a shit about Kendall Rogers. Screw that guy.
Yeah, and the website looks like it's from 2003.
He's a grifter, man.
It's like, come on, dude. You're making people spend all this money, and I know you're getting money. Fix your website, make it a better product, and I'll look at your stuff. Like, I can't even check box scores. It's hard to even find them. It's like, let's find the link to the box scores on all the games.
Yeah, make your product better, where like people would want to subscribe to your website year round. And like, do like a $5 a month year round, you make more money than $30 a weekend. Like, if you had a good product that people would, if they would do something, that would reel you in the full year. Like, if their website was worth it, LSU baseball fans would eat it up and pay $60 a year for $5 a month, as opposed to just $30 for one weekend, and people leave with a bad taste in their mouth because of you. Like Cobra said, make an app, do something.
My boy Wheels.
Yeah.
Like, Wheels, come on, make the page, brother. I don't know how you download all those games so quick and put them up on YouTube. Those highlights. It's impressive. Love Wheels. So.
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. I think it was Friday. I was like, I finished the game. I was like, because I'm a sicko. I'm like, all right, I was at the game, so I want to watch the highlights. And I pull it up, and I'm like, there's no way it's on here already. 15 minutes later, it's already up. And it had been up for 5 minutes at that point, too.
You want to read G Moose's question?
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. G Moose said, David, what do you think of Cerna?
How about having hit the hardest ball in an LSU baseball game in the last 2 years? Like, I scrolled back through last year, and the hardest I saw was both Bear and Ethan Fry had a 116. So in your first weekend on campus as a true freshman, and you outdo that, 118 is, I think it's 118.4, I think. So it's not even like he barely made it. It's halfway. Kid can hit. That they're going to have to find. I mean, we talked about it. He's going to get some chances at catcher. They're going to do the same thing that they did with Aaron Beatty last year and give Cerna, a day per weekend. Maybe it's with Cooper Moore, but he can hit. He's good. It's exciting that you got two really good catchers.
He reminds me, I mean, just the built wise. I don't know how tall Frank Thomas was, but I'm old, so he reminds me of that build. Just a ginormous man that I would never mess with. Just like the dude just is like a beast, dude. He swings it looks like one of those gold Easton bats that that look like they were like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Wasn't Frank Thomas like 6'6" though?
Yeah, I think he's like 6. Is he 6'4"? Right?
I think he's
6'2".
But
yeah, I looked it up.
He might be
like 245 though, huh?
Yeah, I guess
6'5" for Frank Thomas.
Huge. But it just looked like, I don't know. But I just Jay just recruits large men that are just would win in a fight. Like if you have a bench player dugout, I mean, I wouldn't mess with anybody on our team.
No.
Chip, who would win in a fight, the 97 team or the 26 team?
I'd have to. So I mean, obviously, I've gone back and watched those games again. I remember them being huge as kids. I mean, even
some of them were like 5'10", jacked.
Yeah,
they're different. They weren't like these guys. All have length too.
They all look
so
like
that means they got reach in a fight.
They all look like Guidos. I mean, I don't know, but I guess I'm gonna go with the 97 team because they're probably harder. Is that what you said? The 97 or maybe the 90?
No, I said 97.
96 team, man. Maybe I think they're. I don't know I bet Warren Morris could probably throw down if he had to. I don't know. He would be probably your weak link in the fights.
I'm gonna look up
Chad Cooley.
Chad Cooley's the guy I want to look up. Probably. But I want to say Chad Cooley was only like 5.
But he was huge. I mean, they did it. They didn't do it in a real way. So maybe I don't know. That was the steroid.
Allegedly, Chip. We will not.
Was that?
Yeah, Chad Cooley was 5'11", 190.
But it was all muscle, dude.
I mean, it was jacked. I mean, those dudes.
I'll go.
That is true. G-Moo says 97. They grew up in a different era. They would kill the kids today.
Yeah, that's a big part. Was that Jason Williams is on 97, right? They all kind of 96.
Jason Williams was 93 to 97. Yeah.
So we need to put that question out there for him on Inside LSU Baseball. Another guy that does incredible work and see his insight on it.
And he could fly too. He could also fly. He was fast.
Yeah, he was 5'8", 180. So that just like jacked. Just all those dudes were jacked.
Yeah.
Warren Morris was like the only one that wasn't like jacked.
I mean, he was kind of jacked. It wasn't like he was bad. Easton Secor bats. I remember those.
Yeah, I remember we used to play home run derby in a friend's backyard.
Secors. I remember those, yeah.
We'd play home run derby in a friend's backyard, and his older brother had like a -12 bat or something. I don't remember what. It was ridiculous, and we'd hit tennis balls, and they would just fly. They would just go forever.
That was so much fun.
Yes.
Good times, man.
Good times. What other Easton Reflex? Paul says, what else about
Easton Reflex?
What are your expectations for this weekend? I don't know how good any of these teams are in this, to be honest. I haven't looked ahead.
They're solid. They're decent programs in this thing. I mean, I'm glad we're going to play it. Like, don't get me wrong. But I would like for it to be able to watch it without. I mean, we already pay enough for tickets every game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like.
Yeah, I have no idea how good Indiana, Notre Dame, or Central Florida is. I have nothing about any of them.
I haven't dug in too deep, to be honest. I know Indiana lost an absolute heartbreaker the other night. Did y'all see that? How they lost to North Carolina?
No. And North
Carolina. I did see that.
What happened?
Man. The second baseman, he gets a routine ground ball. All he's got to do is just toss over to first base. And
he got the yips.
Got the yips.
He threw it over his head?
No, he spiked it like 10 feet away from him.
Yes, it's brutal. And then it just rolls by, and then it was bad. It was right. You got to go look it up. That was tough to watch.
I did something like that in the league. I not spiked.
We all do it.
I just I didn't cover the Mikey Hollander was my shortstop, and I didn't cover the second base. Like I was just like he made like a sick play, and I was like, whoa! It was bases juice. We could have got. I was just like. I covered it, but I was late. You know, I was like, "Oh crap!" Right. And then, it was a bad moment.
It's the worst feeling. I scored on the wrong goal, and I wasn't a basketball player. It was the last sport I played. I scored on the wrong goal one time when I was like, I don't know, 14 or something like that. I thought we going to inbound. And I'm like, where are they all at? Hurry up, toss it in. And I put it.
Yeah, and you just had a brain fart.
Yeah. It was so embarrassing. Yeah.
It was really embarrassing.
Never played basketball again after that.
That'll end it. Did y'all see
7th grade basketball, the worst kid on our team, like he would get like sympathy minutes, and he never made a goal all season, except for one time on an inbound, like you're talking about. He just threw it in the other team's goal, and the only goal he made all season was for the other team.
That's awesome.
And I hated the kid. I was
Oh.
like the worst teammate ever because like I hated on the kids that were terrible. My mom was telling me about that today, Chip, just for what it's worth. She's like, you were a bad teammate. I was like, I really was.
And now you have kids and you're like, man, I hope that doesn't. I hope no one.
Yeah, now I'm the one coaching the T-ball team, hoping I don't put up with kids like that.
Right.
Believe it or not, I was actually a nice kid. I never got into it with anybody.
It's because my dad, rest in peace, he would talk shit about my youth coaches and how terrible they were. And how like this kid shouldn't be on this team, this kid shouldn't be. It's all political, and
Right.
so then I would have a bad attitude.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it all starts with the parents.
For sure.
I learned that when I coached high school football.
You live and you learn, though, right?
Yeah.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
Speaking of other teams, did you see the guy hit 3 grand slams? Nuts.
Jeez,
it's unreal. Like
Great swing, by the way. Like another beautiful, like just that's crazy.
It's crazy enough that he even gets like if to get to bat with the bases loaded 3 times is crazy, in one game, and then like to hit 3 out is just unreal. I mean,
I think they said it happened in the 70s.
I think it's like the 50s. I want to
50s,
say,
yeah,
further back, yeah.
It was a long time ago, and it's crazy that someone else did it.
Right, that's what I thought.
I was like, all right. Because I think there was a player for Florida that hit 4 home runs in one game in like 16, and I could see his face.
It's been done in the big leagues. I know that 4 in a game.
Yeah, but I still think 3 grand slams, 12 RBIs, and 3 at bats is something that
I would just quit baseball after that because you'll never top that again the rest of your life.
I believe someone said that. I wonder what he ended up with this weekend. I gotta go. I need to go check all that stuff. I was so
Tice Armstrong.
Somebody said that, and it's like, well, that was on Friday, the opening night, and it said like it can like it literally can only go down from here. Like it can't get any better.
You're just gonna be like, he's going to hit every other one out the park.
That was impressive. Did y'all see
He's only batting 300 through 3 games.
Okay, so
that had to be his own.
He was batting like 750.
Yeah, that's his only 3 hits. He had 10 at bats. His only 3 hits are grand slams.
Wow. I think Landry hit 3 home runs in one game, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, and then Landry struggled in 09.
I think Landry did it twice.
Yeah, or was it 10? It might have been 10. Landry hit like 3 home runs and then kind of struggled because he was chasing power for a little bit. He
finished with 12, I think. I think that season, that year. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think.
But he was on the 10. Was he on the 10 team too? I don't remember.
He was.
One of those years he struggled because he was chasing power the
year he was leading the college baseball. He had like 10 at the beginning of the year, or he had 9. I think to start the season, like the first 4, and right at the beginning of SEC play, and I think he hit 3 the rest of the season. I think he did it all in one game.
Yeah, he ended up getting benched for a little while.
Yeah, but still another beast, just a muscle.
When y'all were talking about the best outfield, and y'all were talking about Stanfield versus him, I kind of forgot that he actually did have that power. I'd said Stanfield that night because I was thinking, he's probably like a 3 or 4 home run guy. And then I went after you said that power makes a difference. I went and looked it up. I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot that he actually had that in the tank.
Yeah, he was leading the nation at one point, either at 9 or 10. I don't remember. But then he slumped after that.
He got to 9 very quickly, and then I remember he was really slumping at the beginning of the SEC play, and I think I think he went off in the last series or maybe the SEC tournament. But yeah, his vertical was incredible. He was a superior athlete for sure. I would have loved to see him play some football.
Yeah, it was the 2010 season where he got off that start.
That would make sense because that was after Jared Mitchell leaves, and they lost a lot from that 09 team. To where
they were relying on him big time in 2010.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
and we won the SEC tournament, which is nuts. I remember that.
Yeah.
John Zarang hit a ball against UNC Wilmington at the old box in the regional that has still not landed.
Oh, yeah. To walk off the game, right?
Yes. Yeah. The pride of E.D. White. Am I right, Paul? Isn't Paul related to him?
That guy was a baller.
Yeah. E. Hammond says Cade Patterson had 2 grand slams in one game on Saturday too. That's the Louisiana Tech player. Ball is jumping out early.
I didn't even see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
I love a long ball.
I'm not trying to talk about high school baseball, man. I'll tell you, he's got a good little. I mean, well, obviously, you probably know is the team the team where I'm at. Hahnville's a freaking nasty little high school baseball team.
Are they?
Yeah, like half of. I think I know LSU just got a commitment from a player from there too, and he's a beast. God, I'm excited to see them. And I want to say Barb this week had like. I don't know. I looked at a picture. It was packed.
I think I've seen that video before. I know which video you're talking about because for whatever reason, me and Chip's Twitter algorithms are like exactly the same. So like every day we talk, he's like, "Hey, did you see this?" I'm like, "I saw that too." I know what you're talking about. It was a Barb versus Sulphur game. I think it was last year because I've seen that video before.
Well, they're in the same district, I think, right?
Yeah, because Barb's facilities, I mean, in football, their stadium's huge. Baseball, their stadium's huge. And so, like, it was at Barb, and I've seen that before.
Yeah, they could host a regional. Where some teams can host a regional.
That's insane.
They could host, like, a
college regional.
Yeah, a college football, like, playoff game.
I know, man.
Like, it's insane how big their stadium is. Like, one time I coached there.
Charles, man, they love Barb.
I coached a second round playoff game against them, and like the stadium felt empty.
That's crazy.
It was semi. I mean, if it would have been at Mandeville, Chip, it would have been like 4 rows deep. But their stadiums are so big. Their stadium is so big. It just felt empty. But anyway,
almost impossible to fill.
Yeah. What if I told you the basketball team only lost by 3?
Well, they were down by like 17 and they came back. I mean, they were doing good the first, they were just very inconsistent and they tried. I mean,
well, I saw they were down, but then they came back and they lost by 3. But that's Matt McMahon for you, man.
Yeah, are we doing him a disservice to keep? I mean, like, listen,
we're not keeping him.
No, I know, but are you doing like? I don't see why he would even be like. I'd be like, I would think he would be like, it's time to hang it up. Because at some point you're going to be like, can he even be a head coach anymore for like even a small school? I said that too. Daniel said, stop.
Chip, you're the biggest basketball. You're a bigger basketball fan than
that's how mad I am about it.
And you're saying defund basketball, shut down the program.
Well, if you're not going to fire him, defund it. Just get rid of it. Because I mean, that's about I'm sick of watching him go 2-16. Like, that's insane. I'm sure the winning percentage is even worse now. 2 weeks ago, he was the 3rd worst SEC coach of all time, winning percentage wise. And it's not like he just started last year. He's been coaching for 4 seasons.
Yeah, it was it was worst in the last like 50 or 60 years. So the modern era, basically. Yeah, not going back to when
not
track
Bob
coaches.
Pettit era.
When football assistant coaches coach basketball. In the modern era.
When real athletes started playing the game, it's just like, not that Bob Pettit was a superior athlete back then. I think he was like 6'4", which is crazy. But yeah, it's just, that's the problem. Like maybe and I've always defended basketball because I grew up in the 90s. We were good. We were a basketball school, kind of. Not really, but we were close. It was before baseball won a natty. I mean, we were going to the College World Series, but I mean, you have one of the best top 5 guys of all time. Like if you field your top 5, you could go and compete with North Carolina with your top 5, like of all time. And it's sad to see where it's at. And it just, you have, which is my disdain for our media, is they're not covering it purposely. And it's obviously somebody at the top, and I think I know who it is, and it's just like,
well, they defended the narrative so much last year, the 104.5ers. They said that last year he didn't have the talent, he just needs talent to push him over the top. Well, they gave him money. Jimmy Otts reported that it's a $9 million roster, but then they deny that it's a $9 million roster.
Only 4. Shut up. All you fans, shut up. It's only 4.
But Jimmy Ott's adamant that it's $9 million. And then I forgot who said it. Somebody confirmed that it's close. I forget who I heard say that.
Definitely around there. Like,
yeah.
Like Haney and Ott are no best problem with them.
It might have been like Jordy Collada said it was close.
Well, and I believe him. So
yeah, but they're so far behind the narrative, or they're so far along in their narrative that that McMahon's such a good guy that
I don't care.
He just needs this, he needs that, and they're trying to keep their narrative alive, but like it's not working, man, and you can't run it back another season. And I know somebody. Well, I can't say too much because it gives away. Chip knows our source. The financial part of it, they can't afford to bring him back.
Yeah, at some point, it's going to hurt your program way worse than, like you said, we have people like Paul, me to fund it. Yes. And I know, I'm not saying Paul loves the basketball team. I don't know if he does, but I'm sure everybody wants us to win in that sport.
Chip, are we funded by Guarantee Media?
No, absolutely not.
Chip can say whatever he wants.
No, I'm
not tied to anything that I'm tied to.
I'm not a Guarantee Media fan, but what sucks is I grew up I like Richard Condon a lot. I like T-Bob. He's gone because he was overshadowing one of the main guys, so he got rid of him. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. But
yeah, Moscona wouldn't give him a raise, man.
Yeah, and I feel like if I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not trying to dog the media, but it's
Paul, if you're getting into lab school, you're fine. If you're trying to get them in the Catholic High, that's where you got to run. You run into problems.
Go to the lab school. Don't go to Catholic High.
So that there's a difference there. So if you're trying to get them in lab school, you're okay.
Sorry, David, if we're talking about.
No, you're good. I just like basketball. I don't have much to add, unfortunately. But no, y'all.
But you want us to be good, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
you've seen what it could be.
I'll say this. So my lifetime, they've been so bad that, I mean, it's kind of an accident, but like I'm a Kansas basketball fan. I have a story that goes with that, like how I became a fan of them. But I still would like root for LSU. I want them to be good, but they've never given me a chance to like have to debate like, oh wait, like, like should I like move on from Kansas? Whatever. It's just hasn't even been enough to really.
Well, they were getting it going, and they got rid of the coach because doing the same shit the Kansas guy did.
Right.
I don't agree with the narrative. It was to save football. I don't think the NCAA had the balls to do anything to LSU football. So, I mean, it's too big of a brand, but whatever. It's water on the bridge now where we're at. And I do think he's going to go. I don't see how you can keep him.
No. Yeah, they're already planning on getting rid of him.
Yes. And listen, there's a narrative put out that they're not. I'm telling you, they're getting rid of him.
Yeah, he's gone. It's just a matter of who they're going to replace him with, and whether or not the guy that the governor wants, the guy that the president of the university wants, the guy who's the new board president wants, like, it's just whether or not they can pull him in.
Yeah. We'll see.
And if you don't get him, what's your plan B?
That's what I was going to say. So like, if you don't get them, and then it's, you remember almost the Saints job last year, like when no one wanted the Saints job because it looked so bad with the cap and Loomis and all. And it was like, it almost felt like they had to beg Kellen Moore to come. And it's like, if these rumors about there not being money and it's like, it's way down, like who would really want to come,
But you better not just go get some guy that is just another mid-major coach. That's just another Matt McMahon.
That had one good season this year, and he won 2 games by the skin of his teeth against,
Yeah, don't go get that guy, because then the fan base, then that's when I'm going to be just defund the basketball program.
Right.
But if you think outside the box, like let's say Will Wade says no. Think outside the box. Do something different. Don't just do the same shit and go get another mid-major coach. I would rather see Darnell Lazar.
Yeah,
like a former LSU player who's coaching in the NBA as an assistant coach.
Yeah,
like
get Darnell Lazard. He's right there.
And at least give your program some identity, or like don't just go get Matt McMahon 2.0. Like nobody's going to buy season tickets. Nobody's going to be excited. Everybody's still going to be saying just spend the money on baseball. But go get somebody who's invested in the program. Think outside the box.
What worries me is that he has this really expensive house. So someone has told him somewhere that he's
going to get paid, Chip. Once he gets fired, man.
How much is his buyout though? Now it's got to be down from where it was. It was only like
still like what is it, 11 million?
No, it was like 7 something not that long ago.
Good Lord.
Am I wrong?
He has the 7-year contract because
7, right?
It was 7, so he's got 3 years left at 3 point, like roughly 3 something.
It can't be that much. I mean, I'm saying
9. So it's
9. $3 million.
Like,
who am I talking about? Like,
it was Scott Woodward handing out that money, Chip. Of course, he's got a massive buyout.
That guy, dude. That guy.
No, the buyout can't be 4. It's more than 4.
You're right. It's probably 20 million.
No, I thought I read it was 9.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Sorry. Where does McMahon's salary rank upon in SEC coaches?
When he was hired, it was like middle of the pack, but now everybody keeps going up.
Okay.
So it's really not that bad. He does make more than Will Wade though.
Yeah,
which is noteworthy.
They had Will Wade by the balls though.
Well, NC State. He's in year 1, and usually these things.
Oh, you're talking about he makes more than NC State, yeah.
Yeah. Will Wade makes less now, but the way all those contracts work is you get a boost every year.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's real depressing. But I'm glad we're good at baseball. We're good at women's basketball. Got to make free throws. Just to throw that out there.
I thought I heard, but Paul, maybe I heard it was 9 from Matt Moscona. So
thank you, Paul.
But there's no way it's 4. Then we'd get the fuck out of this deal already. Then if it's 4, there's no problem getting out of this. Then Moscona's an idiot if it's 4. I'll say that.
Seems like
you're damn right he is. He's just pompous. He's an asshole. Like when it comes to that, good father, good dad.
You mean to tell me the boosters can't come up with $4 million?
Yes, they're going to fire him.
Even if it's 9, they're coming up with 9.
Yeah, right.
But so
Gmu says it's 6.
What do you want to go with now?
Last thing I wanted to talk about was jersey logos. Chip has a Chip, lead us off on this. What are your thoughts on the jersey logos?
On the jersey logos. It could be a lot worse. It's not European soccer, which I do like soccer. I'm a huge soccer fan. Crucify me. I got it. I mean, big United States, USA. Love the people of my country, not the government. Because of what's been going on.
We'll stay out of that topic, Chip.
But no elites. I don't like the elites, but the common man of the United States is great. I'm all for the but listen, it's small. You can't really notice it. Like I do agree though with some takes that I wish it was American. I mean,
yeah, you stole my take just then.
Oh, my bad. But I do think you got to keep up with the times if you want to be relevant, man. And if they're going to give you the money that needs to stay forward, you got to do it. I wish college football was like it was in 2000. I think it was the best it ever was then. I mean, obviously we weren't having these high-powered offenses. I get that, but it was, I don't know. It just seemed, I don't know. It just seems almost unreal at this point. It's like unrealistic. How can we keep going like this? But if this is the way we can keep going, definitely. If we can keep going, I'm a Christian. I don't subscribe to any party, but I used to, but I don't anymore.
If y'all knew that Chip gave me shit for being a libertarian for like the last 10 years.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going there.
We're not going there.
I'm not going there. But I think you got to keep up with the times, man. You got to keep it going. If you want to keep getting these badass recruiting classes like Lane Kiffin, you got to stay with it. I feel like, but
it's not a Louisiana-based company. That's my issue.
Yeah, I would.
It's a company based out of Australia,
which is worse than even it. Just go get somebody that's in the South somewhere.
Yeah, but
like.
But Daniel, she flew in specifically for that interview and then flew right back out. Like,
yeah, that was pre-recorded.
Yes, thank you.
That was pre-recorded, and Moscona had it in the can, ready to drop that interview as soon as LSU announced this. He's like, "Hey guys, great interview with the CEO of Woodside Energy. Y'all should check this out."
I think I'm gonna check to see if Woodside Energy CEOs have been on the Epstein list. I'm pretty sure they have for some reason. I wouldn't put it past them. I'm gonna check D1 Baseball because they definitely are at this point. Screw those guys. I'm gonna fictitiously put it in that Gmail thing that they have out. Put the all the D1 guys on there for doing what they're doing right now. Those assholes.
Yeah.
They have
it still is like it used to be. I feel like it's still wholesome.
They do have a subsidiary in Louisiana that's based in Calcasieu, Woodside, Louisiana LNG.
Well, bring on the Woodside,
Louisiana natural gas.
Don't bring on that lady. Like, bring on the guy from Woodside.
Yeah, bring me a coon ass from somebody, from somewhere.
Yeah,
like that was my issue. Is like, wait, why is this bitch with an Australian accent? And then I looked it up. I'm like, wait, this is like an Australian company. Like, just give me Raising Cane's. Like, I'd have been fine with Cane's on the jersey.
I thought that was probably who it was going to be. I was hoping.
Give me Zatarans, man. Give me Tabasco. Like
somebody. Yeah, give me some Louisiana flavor to it. I guess it is a tad Louisiana flavor, but send the Louisiana.
Or just don't do that interview, and I don't know the difference.
It seems dirty to me.
You would think that you wouldn't want to draw that attention to where, like you just said, Daniel, where it's like you hear the voice and then it's like, wait a minute, you look it up, it's like, oh, it's Australia. Like, why do you even like you're outing yourself, by even throwing this interview out there, where it's just gonna rile up everybody and when they do their research.
Yes,
but it is a very plain logo. It won't look bad on the uniform.
That's where I'm at. I mean, I think Paul said it earlier. Like, it could be worse. If I hate it, don't get me wrong. But if you tell me it's going to happen, like, in it, like, no matter what, like, then it's not so bad.
Yeah, because Chip is right. I mean, it seems like it was inevitable, and like it could have been worse. The patch actually looks like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
like in the sense that there was gonna be a patch.
Right.
It isn't a bright red Raising Cane's,
Yeah, it isn't an Orange Bowl logo or like a freaking huge rose on the shoulder pad, like they do in the bowl games.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've done this before, but yeah, I'm still gonna love the football team. It's not the worst thing ever or anything, but I would have liked to have been. But then again, what do I know? I'm not a businessman. There's probably good reason they did that. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
So Paul's question. If you could pick any company to sponsor, who would it be?
Tabasco would be cool. I didn't think of that, but maybe I think Cane's would be awesome because Cane's is Louisiana.
But then it would be a bright red logo.
It would have been bad, but you could have made it purple. You could have figured it out. You could lower it down a little bit, but I guess
you could probably tone it down like a one tone and make it purple.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. It just seems a little sketchy. But then again, I got it. You got to stay up with the times. I'm not going to be one of those fans. I mean, yeah, it's weird.
Just the G for Gordon McKernan.
Exactly. Get Gordon. Just G. That would be sick. That would be sick. I love Gordon. So thank God for people like Gordon.
The first thing that came to my mind, it wouldn't be accepted, but Abita, I don't know how much money they got. It seems like they got a lot, but like that would be, but that wouldn't be.
Or what about this?
I guess.
I got a good one. What about oh my God, who does the what is the is it whiskey? What is the guy? He's from Louisiana. He's a geek. Sazerac. Yeah, that would have been a good one. But maybe he didn't want to do it. I don't know. Sazerac would have been awesome. He's Louisiana born. He's awesome. He's an LSU guy.
Like, Auburn's going to trot out Yellowwood.
Yeah.
It's going to look so bad.
That's going to look bad.
Bright ass yellow. That's going to look so bad.
But yeah, man, you got to keep up with the times. If you want to keep getting these badass OT offensive tackles and 3 badass QBs, you got to pay them, it is what it is. I don't like it, but it's the times we live in. You gotta Got to stay with it. Got to keep up with the Joneses, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Were we the first team to announce it in college football?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, I heard about it like 4 years ago. They talked about it.
So, why did we have to be the first one to announce it? I feel like if we'd have let somebody else announce it, it wouldn't sting as much.
Yeah. It doesn't sting. I mean, it doesn't sting me.
Well, it stings. It like hurts the soul of like college football.
It's the wholesomeness of it. It's the wholesomeness. It's like it's yeah.
But if USC would have done it first, then we're like, well, I guess we got to do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't remember seeing anyone else have announced it yet.
Yeah. So that's like, let somebody else announce it.
Right.
Unless that was part of the deal with Woodside Energy.
I think we got to get used to this. I mean, I know everybody knows how big LSU brand is. LSU is a top 3 brand. I mean, you got, I would say
Community Coffee would be a good one too.
He said a few. He said Camellia a little bit before that too. That's 2 good ones.
Yeah, those are who I thought. Like I those are when they come to the top of my head. Those like what E. Hammond said. I mean, those are like what I would have thought too. That's why I'm a little shocked. But I love Louisiana. I'm a Louisianian and an American, so I would have loved to have stayed somewhere around us. But I guess if it like Paul said, it does have a Louisiana extension to it.
We should have just got the Saudis to do
it. Yeah, right.
That's USC's going to do that. The Saudis are going to sponsor USC or Miami.
No, who would the Saudis sponsor?
I'm trying to think.
Miami's a good one for the Saudis.
Miami, USC.
Yeah, those are good because those are big markets. You're right. That's the right answer. It's got to be USC,
Syracuse.
Los Angeles market.
Not that close to New York, but
yeah, because you don't have a team in the New York market, so it's got to be either Miami or LA. I like that pick.
But I still
Saudi
think
royal family
we have become a way bigger brand than those teams, which is crazy to think. Back in the 90s, you know, all you saw our Florida State T-shirt. That brand has fallen completely off the cliff. Miami is still big. I would say you could argue they're in the top 3, but I think it's Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU. LSU being number 1, of course. When it comes to like people wearing the gear.
Well, now with Lane Kiffin,
Michigan maybe too.
LSU has to be like from a company like who wants to put their patch on a jersey, like LSU plus Lane Kiffin has to be the most appealing in college football right now because the combination of the two. Lane Kiffin's going to be on TV everywhere. LSU's going to be on TV everywhere because of Lane Kiffin.
Like they're seeing it from the no publicity is bad publicity. Like it's going to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people are just going to hate on us because we're Louisians and we're different. We're not the same like everybody else, and we're going to, we take care of ourselves though, right here. So,
right.
Hey, what's Stale Crackers brand?
Could you get Stale Crackers? See,
what is it?
Cajun Two-Step is the name of his, but what's the name? Is it Stale Cracker? The name of his brand?
Oh man, it's crazy asking me this because he was on the Guy's Grocery Game show or whatever, or something like that. My wife was just watching it last night. She's like, "You know who this is?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was quoting him, but oh man, somebody's gonna have to say it. I can't remember what it was.
No,
but I was just like, that's what he's dude. The way he says, "Dude."
Yeah.
What about Zaps or like?
That's what somebody said. Well, I guess it is Cajun.
Let's do a little throwback to the Sunday baseball game on Channel 3's Boudreaux's butt paste.
It is CajunTwoStep.com.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the name of his stuff.
I'm really sad there was no baseball game today. I felt naked, and I got too much baseball this past couple of days, and now I'm ready for tomorrow.
Well, guess what, Chip? You've got baseball tomorrow and then 3 games this weekend. And
I have to pay for.
Yeah, that our friend Creole Money Man will never be able to broadcast ever again after this weekend. So enjoy him tomorrow because it'll be the last game you'll see of him until he has to create another new channel.
Dude, he's hysterical.
Yeah.
But Chip donated to his cat, so.
I did.
I did too.
Yeah.
You did too? So okay.
It was like $10. I've never ever watched a stream. I just have ESPN Plus and all that, but I saw it. And I'm like, I know what he does for a lot of people. I'll throw $10.
Yeah, I'm a big animal guy. So
exactly.
It's the one kind of left wing thing I have, but like I mean I don't even know if that's even really. I just like animals.
No, I don't think that's any wing. That's just yeah.
I hope the cat's thriving. By the way, I hope he's thriving.
I have the subscription on ESPN that I can watch it all.
Me too.
But it's that app sucks so much. So it's so much easier to just put on YouTube and like Cageonomics always pops up because I've subscribed. Oh, I just said it. Shit. Sorry. Delete it. We'll delete it. No
more show. Don't put it up. It didn't happen. You know,
cancel.
What irritates me about ESPN is I'm like, I'll turn it on and the first like 20 rows, I have to like, why is LSU baseball in the end? They know I'm an LSU baseball fan. Like, what is this algorithm? Why am I passing up all these different sports? Gymnastics. Yeah, exactly. Gymnastics.
No, I screwed it up.
I'm so sick.
I have no issue with it's the last it's the bottom thing. Even when I want to watch football, it's like the bottom thing. I have to like search for the LSU game. I know I could just search.
I got 3 words that just sums up ESPN Plus and watching college baseball. User must re-authenticate. Like,
dude, it's the
every
word.
3 out. Like, it's the same day. Like, if you watch it and then like you back out, like the LSU game's over, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go put on one of these West Coast games. You have to do it again. It's
dude,
like, why? It's so
I just
frustrating.
scream out loud. All my neighbors can definitely probably hear me. I'm just like, fuck. God damn it. It's like because I'm like coming home from work like a 6 o'clock game, like flying home, trying to catch the first pitch. You know,
when me and Chip lived next door to each other. I would go over to his house to watch the games, and I'd walk in. I'm like, "Hey, game started," and he'd get the remote, and it would take him like 5 minutes. I'd be like, "Dude, we're missing the game," and he'd just like, "Shut the fuck!" He'd be yelling at me. I'd be like, "Dude, we're missing this."
TV remote, you're like, you barely touch it. It's like that's the problem. And then if I don't use my Apple TV thing, it's the same shit. It's like so hard to load it, and I thought ESPN Anywhere was a lot better than what it is now. Like it used to have its own little. Ever since they've mixed the app for like the last 10 years, it's sucked.
Well, it's Disney. I was gonna say it's all Disney because I don't know if y'all use Disney Plus much, but that app is awful too. Like, it's
use my language.
I use Disney Plus a lot.
Fuck Disney,
dude. I have to call. I don't know about you, like the update household thing, you know, where it's constantly asking me that, and then I run out of household updates, and then I have to call them, and I'm trying so hard not to get frustrated with the person I'm on the phone with because I'm like, I know it. I'm telling myself, I know it's not their fault. But I'm like, I paying all your money and I have to call to be able to, and no one else is logging in anywhere else. It's just in my house. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And you can't get anybody anymore this day and age. You got to do AI. Like it's even harder. I don't know if you had to do it this year. You can't even in the last 2 years.
Barely understand them. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
David says, should I invite the Geaux Team to the crawfish boil? I know Chip's on the list. Zombie Bob's probably more on the list. Daniel's probably not on the list though right now. I got
Paul. You can be my +1.
I'm coming. Okay. Paul, I'm there if I get the invite.
If Chip goes, you got to get an extra.
I had great crawfish this week. I cannot say no to it.
Chip is a crawfish fiend. He's the guy that Chip is the guy that lingers at the end of the table, lets everybody eat first. And then he's the guy that comes and cleans up the table. And so if you're hosting, he's the best guy because you're not going to have any leftover crawfish.
Yeah.
Yes. It's great. Crawfish is my jam.
Yeah.
I can't
wait. Let everybody go first.
Paul, are you spicy? Do you like spicy? Like, Paul, what are we talking here? Because I'm okay with any. I can eat any crawfish, but
Paul, I think he dusts his crawfish, just FYI.
I'm willing to try it. I think it's going to be great.
The Geaux Team has to disassociate from Guarantee Media before they allow
I wouldn't be on this show if it's Guarantee Media. They wouldn't allow me because of the things I've said on Twitter, which is embarrassing because I used to be a little bit more high strung. I'm still there kind of, but not as bad as I used to be. And I used to get really pissed off at takes from a lot of people, especially if they don't know their history, which if you do this for a living, I think you should know your history. And I can pretty much recite what I remember, but I don't understand how you don't know some of the things that they don't know.
Right.
These people went to school in those times with the things that they don't know. So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But then again, I probably like LSU sports way too much. So sue me.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
It's not healthy, but
right.
Yeah, if you go back and listen to some of our episodes from August, when 1045 Guarantee Media was calling us all stupid for asking whether or not Nussmeier was hurt or not. We weren't holding back at that point in time.
And then the audacity to be like, can I say it now? Can I say it now? Okay, well, that just makes you look so – it just –
Yeah, now he acts like he knew the whole time that Nussmeier was hurt, when back in August he was calling us stupid for questioning it.
Yeah, I mean –
and it wasn't just him. It was the whole station.
The whole gang. Even
because the morning show guy too.
And I
was at practice when he got hurt.
It's scary. Is whatever was anything ever real? You know,
and then he would say, like, Brian Kelly would, like, I don't know, it's like early in the season, someone asked about it and he was like, oh, there's no big deal. Or it might have been when they asked Nuss, you know, he said, I'm not going to comment on my injury right now. And then they were like, well, y'all heard him. He said it. Let's move on. You know, it was so obvious that they were just trying to, you know, cover up, and it was so weird.
Well, another problem I have with it is that I thought he used to be really good at, like, going against the grain. But I know why.
You're right.
I know why he's like that now, because it's that Catholic high shit, man. It's because your AD was a Catholic high boy and you had to run cover for a guy who I think did a lot of bad things for the program. And listen, I get it. I got to give him credit for Jay Johnson, even though he did want somebody else at first.
He did want Kevin O'Sullivan.
Yeah, which I mean,
did Kevin O'Sullivan kill a kid?
No, he married a girl whose ex-husband, who he had in a.
I shouldn't have made that joke. It's it's tasteless.
Yeah, it's tasteless. You say some things that you.
Afterwards that probably wasn't as good.
I mean, we said BK.
I was trying to equate it, but like that's a tragic situation.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault. I'm not blaming that on O'Sullivan. I think O'Sullivan's a good baseball coach, but it would just be an eyesore for LSU if he was here, because everybody hates him. Like we'd have everybody root against him. Whereas Jay Johnson's very likable. And listen, I don't know who found Jay Johnson. I heard it was somebody else. Now I am quick to judge Woodward, but I don't like how he ruined the basketball program. I think he ruined the football program too. So, I mean, go look at the field. I mean, you say that things don't matter, but your baseball stadium forgot to build a bullpen. Like, I get it. They're like, well, that's not on the athletic director's fault. Well, your football stadium's field looked like trash come halfway through the season. No one else looks that bad. It looks like you were playing in what was the 49ers used to play in the baseball field?
Candlestick?
Yeah, it looks like you're playing in Candlestick.
Yeah.
And then your basketball stadium is leaking and has rats running across the front floor. You just can't see it.
Might as well be a library.
Because he was busy playing GM in the football ops.
Oh, he's busy fishing and hunting and being yup with all the politics. Yeah.
But anyway, we could do that a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
We're at 2 hours late here. So
for sure.
David, thanks for coming back on, putting up with us, ranting and raving about basketball and other things.
Guys.
No,
but always fun having you on, and the insight into LSU baseball. And then obviously AP, Paul, G Moose, everybody in the chat tonight. Thank y'all for coming out. Make sure y'all are already liked.
Everybody, yes.
Anybody who isn't liked and subscribed, like the YouTube channel, like Facebook. We're not on Facebook. We're like the everything that we are on Instagram. We're on TikTok now, Twitter, everything. And then subscribe to the website, thegoteam.com, so that as soon as David posts an article, you have that right there in your inbox. So, did I miss anything? I think I hit it all. No. And we'll be back on Thursday for Zombie Bob's edition of the Chat Master, or whatever we're calling it. And I gotta talk to AP about it. I did talk to Zombie Bob. I'll message you. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday, 9:00. Zombie Bob will have full control of the chat, full control of the episode. I will just be sitting here. Chip, are you joining the program?
Yeah, I'm going to join the program.
Okay. I don't think we're going to be doing a whole lot of talking, because Zombie has already said, hey, we watch a morning political show with this guy, Mark Halprin, and Mark Halprin yells at his producer, clip 113, please. And if it's not posted within 2 seconds, he's like, clip 113, please, clip 113. And so Zombie has already told me that that's what he's going to do to me on Thursday. That he's going to have a bunch of videos and clips from his Mardi Gras experience that he wants to post. So I'm going to get yelled at on Thursday a lot. So looking forward to it.
Love it.
So yeah, we'll be back on Thursday. David, you got anything on your schedule this week?
Going on with AP tomorrow. What's today's? Tomorrow, Wednesday. Going on with AP and Paul tomorrow. Just do a little catch up on baseball, and I can't spoil anything, but there's news coming this week. I'll say that. Just keep a lookout on Twitter, DC Billiot Jr. And thank y'all for having me. I don't want to do like a pat on the back, but I just got to say, because a lot of the people that are here have a lot to do with it. I hit 1,000 followers today, and it means the
and now you're like
at
1,100 already,
like
huh?
1,150. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just
It did. So I just it means so much to me. I know it probably seems silly to some people at 1,000. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it. It's
this day and age, that's awesome.
It feels great. And I just want to, like I said, I want to say thank you to all of you that have contributed to that. Thank you to you guys for having me here. Thank you to AP, all that. It's very much appreciated. This is a blessing that I just get to come on here and talk about what I love. So thank y'all.
Yeah, me and AP, we talk about it all the time. It's so fun to have built this little community of us where it feels like it's only been like 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been forever. This little group we've got going. And so we're all trying to lift each other.
The people you meet on the way, man, is what's been great.
Yeah. Yep. The journey is the fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
Just getting started.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. Thank y'all. We'll be back. David will be with AP tomorrow with Paul, and then we'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully Zombie Bob doesn't beat us up too much. So thank y'all, gentlemen, and good night.
Stay on after this, David, though. Don't just bounce out.